Good morning and welcome to the SHAC. My name is Barbara Gray from Clarity here in the UK, and it's 3 minutes to 10. Good time to start the week, don't you think? So come on in. Our friend Paul Church is in the room with your good selves. So if you have any questions, I'm sure he'll be able to filter them through to me. And it's a beautiful, sunny autumn day here in the southeast of England. Be lovely to hear where you are, how you are, and what the weather's like. How British. So do come on in, and then we'll start on something new today. I thought we'd have a change. So it'd be nice to see if you're there. And here they come, Debbie. Good morning. Nice to have your company. Yeah, so it's been really cold as well, hasn't it? The temperature has changed. So I'm trying something out, and I'm hoping that Paul will keep an eye on this, because I've got a microphone attached to my collar, which is a little bit closer to the vocal cords than it usually is. Good morning, Ken. Nice to have your company too. Yes. So I just want to make sure that it's not too loud, and I'd appreciate it if you told me, because I'll know immediately how to dial it down a little bit. So, because I'm thinking going forward, I wouldn't mind wearing something round the neck. Do you know what I mean? It's getting to that time of year, isn't it? So today we've got 10 o'clock with you in the shack now, and then at 2 o'clock Paul and I are getting together and we're launching something really brand new. There was a little bit of confusion yesterday with an e-shot that went out. I do apologize. What we were trying to say was that we were extending the autumn sale. We were going to ring fence today so that what we launched, the new Christmas special product that we're launching at 2 o'clock this afternoon, is included in the sale. That was all I was trying to do. All we were trying to do was just offer you something brand new at half price. There you go. That was it in a nutshell. How can something so easy go so wrong, eh? Anyhow, so at 2 o'clock this afternoon, we've got a smashing offer for you, and it's not a big ticket item either, but it's something that you really, really want. Okay. So there you go. We've been really busy here as well, just waiting for our friends to come in now. I fired up the kiln down in the garage below me, and when I do that, I have to turn all the heating off up here because of the power surge. You don't want it to cut out down there. So that's why it was like a fridge in here this morning when I came in. But the sun's warming it up nicely. And the kiln is nearly ready to open. It takes a long time. You can go, when you do biscuit firing, right, which is, so you go from greenware, which is when it's still fresh, right, before you've baked it. Then it goes to biscuitware, bisque firing it's called. So you take it up to about 1,000 degrees. And then you take it out, then it's bisque fired, so it's hard, then you can't break it easily. And then you glaze it, then it goes back in and goes higher. So the thing is that the bisque firing, you've got choices. You can have a fast bisque fire, or you can have a slow bisque fire. And my experience tells me that much as I'd like to go on a fast bisque fire, if I go on a slow bisque fire, the glazing works out better. So I found that if you do a slow rise to the heat on the biscuit, then it must release more gases or something out of the clay, right? So there's less. What happens is when you glaze it, there's less pitting or no pitting. You know where, often on pottery you see little air pockets, little air bubbles, and they end up in the glaze as like little dips, little pin pricks. And if you go on a slow biscuit fire, you'd never think there was a connection. You'd think it was all in the glaze, but it's not. You've already got rid of a lot more of the gases, if you like, in the clay. That's what I think anyway. Yeah, Christmas cactus, beautiful. Every year, you know, and we don't do much to look after it really, apart from water it and put it in the sunshine. It's been sitting out. I've got a little balcony before I go downstairs outside the garage, and it's been sitting out in there under the yew trees, and it's really enjoying it. So as soon as it got colder, I thought, you better come on in with me. So it's been in with me now. Grüß dich, Marion, and schönen guten Morgen. And what's the weather like in Germany? I saw Marion is here from Germany, and Ellen is here from, or Karen, Norway. I'm sure I saw Norway here. Let's have a look. I'm so slow at this. Ellen, there we are. Ellen from Norway, and Jane's there as well. I'm glad to see you too, Jane. So there you go. And I think today it would be a nice day to try something different. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on everywhere, friends. We're not special and different here. But I tell you what, this says it all. Okay, so I decided, since I'm not going to talk about it, I'm just going to do this. Since there's a lot going on here, I thought, right, we're going to slow down, keep it simple. Yeah. So hum. That'll do. So what we're going to do, hum, is just take a piece of paper and a pencil, because that's what we're best at. We don't need anything else. And I have a plan. Of course I have. I made this plan about an hour ago. Okay. And what I want you to do is get your pencil, get a piece of paper. Okay. It works every time when we do this. And we'll just do something. We did it ages ago. But it's a real fun, easy thing to do. Okay. So I'm just going to use a view ruler, because it's a ruler that travels in 2 directions, really useful. And what we're going to do is draw or write along a straight line. That can't be that hard. Okay, come on, let's have a cup of tea. It can't be that hard to draw in a straight line, but nonetheless, we're going to draw a straight line and write along it. There is a method in my madness, or there is method in my madness. Let's have a look. So I've got a piece of paper, and let's see. I'm going to go. I'm going to call it 5 inches, like that. Right, and I'm going to go up that side as well. So that gives me my right angle. That'll do. And then, actually, I'm going to go, that's 5 inches, but I'm going to draw from 2 inches on. There you go. I'm just going to draw that bit there. I'm going to use that. Okay, because this is going to make me draw smaller. That's what I want to do. I want to write smaller. There's a method in my madness. Stick with me. Okay, and then we'll do something really nice. Okay, you'll love it. I know my friends, and I know that they'll love this. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to write. You can either use that line to write underneath or on top. I'm going to just use it to write underneath. Okay, So, for example, the trick is to write and not lift your pencil. Remember, we've done this before. I've got a couple of really nice things that I want to show you, but we're going to write and not lift our pencil. Let's just get in. It's a bit of a stretching exercise, a bit of warming up. Okay, good. Pencil, paper, ruler. Okay, this is therapy at its absolute best. Right, what you do need to do is decide what you're going to write. So are you going to write your name, your signature? Are you going to write keep it simple? Are you going to write one day at a time? Are you going to write travel gently? Come on, we've got so many lovely SHACisms. Okay, have you decided? Good, let's go for it. One day at a time. So I've written it in my, I've air wrote it. I've air wrote it. I've air wrote it. No, you got paper write it. I've air written it. Right, I've air wrote it. Now I'm going to write air wrote. Hang on, what am I writing? One day at a time. One day at a time. Right, here we go. One. You can always stop and have a think. At a time. One day at a time. There you go. Okay, can you see that all right? Because I'm writing it with pencil. So I'm going to go again. I'm going to redefine it now. One. Now I can get a little bit sexy with it. Look. Day at, that goes together. A time. There you go. Nice. Nice. Air wrote. I tell you what. It is. It's extreme, isn't it? But I know I'm not alone, you see, and I take comfort in that. Right, one day at a time. That's message number one in a straight line. Next one. Okay, let's try another one. Now this time, I'm going to go, okay, I'll just write another line, draw another line, actually. If I go like that, silly, look, tell you what, you know it's, so I'll use the right angle on there, you see, and then that'll give me the straight line there, excuse my head. So I go like that, that's it. Now I've got another straight line running that way. I'm going to go there again, leave that gap, and this time I think I'll say, what we're going to say, one day at a time, keep it simple, I should say. Keep it simple. That's lovely. Don't sweat the small stuff, it's a bit long. Don't sweat the small stuff. That's a really important one, you know. It really is. I guess when you write these things like one day at a time, travel gently. It's one thing saying it, it's another thing writing it. You know, I guess that's why journaling is so popular nowadays. You know, you write it. I mean, Grace is big on a gratitude journal. And I understand that, you know. I can think grateful things. I can think, I can conceptualize gratitude in my head. Of course I can. But then when I actually write down the things that I'm grateful for, it seems to have more impact on my brain. Does that make sense? So one day at a time, and then I'm going to write, keep it simple, because I think that's important. Keep it simple. Keep it. I cheated. I went up. That's okay. Simple. Keep it simple. That looks rather nice. Keep it simple. These are my mantras for me today. This is my instruction book on what to do today. Take today, one day at a time, and keep it simple. There we are. And I air wrote that. Right, let me just check something because I'm just looking. This shoot, Ruth, that's a good one. This too shall pass. Right, we're going to do that one as well now. Right, this too shall pass. I like that one. That's one of my favourites. Everything passes. Nothing is forever. Good and bad, unfortunately. Right, this too shall pass. Nice one. This too shall pass. Okay, perfect. This too. Now I want to start with the S, but okay, I'm going to go that way. Shall pass. There you go, that went well. This too shall pass. Nice. Nice. So I've deliberately left these gaps here. So let's see what we can do with that now. For example, well, let's put these to one side. Okay, have you got any tracing paper? Because it would be good getting less shaky as I'm going on. That's the thing, Jackie. That's exactly how it works. And that's why I wanted to do a little warm-up exercise on a piece of paper. These are just to get your eye in, if you like, you know, to kind of focus the mind. So what we'll do now, have you got a piece of tracing? Come on, let's get a bit of tracing paper out. Oh, shackers. Tracing paper. Crafting is the best therapy. It 100% is. I already feel 100% better than I did about an hour ago. There we are, you see? Works every time. Because with the best will in the world, if you're like me, it's like a gallop. Do you remember those little puppies with the toilet paper, with the Andrex? And they're like little Labradors, little baby labs, and then they run, and then suddenly their back legs start overtaking their front, and it's like, oh. And that's what happens in my head sometimes. Starts out like that, and it starts picking up speed, and it starts, and then suddenly all the doors started opening, and it's like, oh, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and then before you know it, you're like that. And so you have to have a little toolbox of tricks to get back down to nice and calm. This works every time, doesn't it? Making cards. I think that's why we're paper crafters. Because you've got to concentrate on what you're doing, especially with this kind of line writing. Line dancing, that's a different thing. I'm absolute rubbish at it. But you really, with this, you've got to concentrate on what you're doing. And I think therein lies the magic. Because whatever's going on in your head, you can't think about that and write in a straight line. Not writing anything sensible in a straight line anyway. So let's make something pretty, okay? Let's make something pretty. I'll show you what I did this morning, and then you'll go, oh, that's where she's headed. Right. So what am I going to show you? Okay, I'll show you the bottom half. So I wrote Grace, and I wrote Merry Christmas, because I thought, and that, right, that little trick there is what happens. It's always the last one, isn't it? I digress, sorry. I was peeling apples because we've got so many apples. It's like historically good for apples in Kent this year, like major. Okay. And so yesterday I thought I'll peel all the apples and make apple mousse and then freeze it into bags and then we can have it for Christmas and da-di-da-di-da-di-da, right? And I peeled loads of them. I've got one of these brilliant things. It's like a core, a slice, a peel, a dice. It does it all in one hit. And you go like that and and you got all these apples, like loads and loads. I've got this great big pot. And then there was one manky looking apple in the sink. And I don't know about you, but I have conversations, right? And I think it would feel really abandoned if I didn't use it, because it was looking a bit manky. And I've used all the other apples except this sad looking thing in the sink in all the peel. And I thought I should sling it really, because I bet it's brown inside. I thought, well, yeah, but you might be able to salvage a little bit of it. Bearing in mind, I've got a vat of already peeled apples to my right. Right, loads of lemon, stop it going brown. Right, and I've got this one sad looking apple. And then I thought, oh, do you know, sometimes when I'm emptying peas out of the saucepan and there's one little stray one, I have a little conversation with it. I know. And I think, oh, it's wondering what's wrong with it. And it's not waste, not want. I just feel sorry for the blinking pea. Oh, no. There's no hope. Anyway, so this apple, right, was sitting there looking really bad. And I thought, oh, I felt bad for it. So I decided I was gonna see what I could do with it. Got it in the machine, went to clear the blade, and boom, cut myself proper. Blood everywhere. And I thought, you see, firstly, it's always the last one that gets you, because I suppose that's when you go, Christ, I'm not doing any more of them. Actually, this actually really was the last one. And then the other thing is, no good deed goes unpunished. You see, I've never understood that expression, but I did that in a moment of kindness, generosity towards the apple that I said, I will eat you. Actually, that's probably why it bit me. But yeah, so where was I? Okay, back to what we were doing. Good. Grace, Merry Christmas. Okay, let's just pretend that one day at a time, keep it simple, this too shall pass. Now we're turning it into a festive delight. Okay. And then, because we left that top bit free, we could do a really cool, look, let's put this on, see if you see it better if I put white underneath it. See? So then you could put a really lovely, I did a single one, little holly sprig, and then I did a double one. I thought, oh, now we're really going for it. But it looks really nice. This is like Mark 2, Mark 1. So you, Merry Christmas, just like we did just now. Okay. And then with the Grace one, I kind of wove it into the word. So you have to kind of back and forth a little bit on this until it makes complete sense. So this one here goes like that and then wraps itself like that. And then this one here comes this way and then comes over like that. But it depends entirely what the word's going to be. If this says joy, then you got to work it out, haven't you? Where's it going to go? So you kind of write the word and then you weave them together on that one. Okay. But I thought this would be nice. And I suggest that we use a bit of tracing paper for this, and then we can actually transfer it to a nice little set of cards. Doesn't that sound absolutely delightful? So we could do personalized ones. I mean, grace is just a beautiful word. I love the word grace. Grace, joy, honesty, harmony, beautiful. So you could do a set of glorious notelets as a gift using beautiful words like that, couldn't you? Or you could say, Grace, Dave, Steve, Sheila, and you could personalize. You could actually personalize their cards. Place settings for the table. Sue Carpenter, she's on fire. Good idea. Love that idea. Wouldn't that look lovely? Place settings. I've got another idea. Okay, so get a piece of tracing paper, put your white underneath it so you can see it better. I'll pan out a little bit so you can see the structure. Yeah. Okay. Holly's a piece of cake. I mean, it really is. Okay. Holly's a piece of cake. And you don't want to make it too big, because otherwise your place setting will straddle 3 tables. Okay. You just want 2 inches, 3 inches. I wrote it here on the tracing paper. Here, right? So you've got 5 inches altogether from top to bottom. 2 inches is just this little bit is where you put your sprig or whatever it is you're going to use. I thought today we'll use the holly. We'll do the holly, right? And then look what I found, because I think hips and haws, so to speak, because I think this is a little bit more difficult to draw. But if we do holly today, then next week we could try hips and haws. HAWS, haws, right? Look. So wouldn't that, right? Let me just stick it between my legs. Wouldn't that look gorgeous drawn, right? With the rose hips. Look beautiful. I think this is going to be nice. Isn't it? And I suggest that we do that next Monday and that we do the holly today. Does that sound good to you? And then next Monday we'll try the hips and haws. And if you want to practice, then you can practice before we get to it, eh? I just thought it'd be nice. Be nice for Christmas anyway. So I'm going to use my view ruler because I use it a lot nowadays. It just is logical. Because in effect, apart from being a view ruler so that I can isolate areas to draw, it also, what it does is, it's great because it's just a ruler that's got a right angle on it and it travels in 2 directions. And as a card maker, I use it all the time. And you know what? I've just had a thought. Right, Paul, yes or no on this, right? Is this a new product? Is this what we consider to be a new product, or is it in the sale? Because if it's in the sale, we've extended the half price sale to ring fence what we're doing at 2 o'clock today. So if our friends were going to treat themselves to these and haven't got them, are they in the half price sale? This is a good question. The view, you need a pair. They work as a pair. But if they're half price and you haven't got them yet, then today's a good day. You see, Lynn, that ruler has become an essential for me. I tell you what, Lynn, me too. Me too. Now, let's have a look. Paul will let us know about that. So we've gone 5 inches to the top, and then I'm going to make a little mark there, right? Because that's going to be 2 inches, and then I've given myself 3 inches for the writing. I'm keeping it tight. View ruler, half price. Well, result. So now that's going to be my halfway line. Yeah. So if I go up here, see, and I can use the ruler like that. And I'm just going to give myself really lightly a halfway line like that. I mean, I'm drawing straight onto the tracing paper. It doesn't matter now. It's easier just to do it straight on because it's just giving me a line. So I've got 3 inches here, 2 inches there, 2 inches for whatever, whether it's going to be the, I don't know, the holly, the rose hips, rose hips. I love rose hip tea. I love rose hip tea. When we were children, and we always used to go and see my Oma and Opa in Germany, we always had Abendbrot in the evening, okay? And 6 o'clock, and you were there at 6. When those church bells rang, you made sure you got home at 6 o'clock. And we used to have Abendbrot, which means evening bread. So you'd have a little bit of sausage, a little bit of cheese. This is evening. This is what Germans, in those days, what German people did they didn't have a big meal at tea time, right? Like the English tend to have their meal at tea time. The Germans tend to have the warm meal at lunchtime. Well, they did in those days anyway. I'm sure it's changed. Anyway, so Abendbrot. And at the table were always 2 pots of tea. One was black tea and one was Hagebutten tea. I know, that's a word, isn't it? Shall I show you how you won't believe how it looks amazing, this word. Let me see if I write it down for you. I digress. I know. Let me see if I can remember how to spell Hagebutten tea. Hagebutten. Yeah. Hagebutten tea. Don't say that they don't know how to make a long word. Hagebutten tea. Go on, say it after me. Come on. You never know when this will come in useful. Okay? Right. Say after me. Ha. Ha. Like ha ha. Ha. Ge. Bu. Bu. But. But as if you were from Manchester. Like butty. Right? Hagebutten. Hagebutten tea. Like that. Hagebutten tea. Hagebutten. And then the accent, the intonation's on there. So it's Hagebutten tea. Go on, you say it. Marion Pets hates it. I love it. Right, ready? Hagebutten tea. Hagebutten tea. Sonia Goodliff. Hagebutten tea. It's a beautiful word, actually. Deutsche Sprache, schwere Sprache. They say German language, difficult language. There you go. Hagebutten tea. So I don't know what I was telling you about. Oh, yeah. So if we do the rose hips, which is what Hagebutten is, if we do rose hips in the top part next week, I think that'll be absolutely beautiful. So if you've got rose hip tea in your cupboard, go and look at the packet. There's bound to be a rose hip picture on it. Now, so now we need one more. Let's go a little bit further along. I'm going to make my, there you go. I'm just going to make my line like that. Yeah, I'll make my line. That's what I'm going to use as my line. See? There. So I've got my line. It's a little bit extreme, maybe not quite so hard. I just need a line so I can see it. Right, so here is my point. And now I'm going to draw my 3 stems. Let's have a look. So I'm going to go like that. I'm not copying anything. I'm going to go like that. And then this one, I'm going to go like that. And then that one, I'm going to go like that. That'll do. It's coming a bit closer. Do you see how I get quiet when I start? Yeah, I don't mind peppermint tea, Sarah. Right, now let's have a look. So now we're going to go, let's just do them. So this is the top of the, right, this is what you're going to do. Do it on rough first. That's the top of the stem that you've just drawn. Isn't the bottom, it's the top. So you're going to go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's it. That wasn't exactly difficult. Try again. Look, go like that. That's not the bottom, that's the top. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Do another one. They're really fun. Do a little one. Practice a little one. Cool. Look, do an even smaller one. Ready? Oh, see? Go a bit further. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Berries. Berries. Sorry. I'm just having a moment in my head again. Right, let's do the holly berries. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Holly leaves. 1, 2, 3. That'll do. Let's do another one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Cool. Bit smaller. It's going to be nice. That'll do. And then put a few berries in. Should we do a little cluster of berries? Maybe one over there, another one there. And we could always add a bit more, but we need to get the basics in, don't we? Then you turn that round. Let me get my book out of the way. Whoa. Let's turn this round. And then we're going to write along there. So we've done that bit. That wasn't tricky, was it? Let me get my tea. How are you doing? Schwarzer Tee. Say after me. Schwarz. I told you, you prefer Hagebutten tea. It's easier. Hagebutten Tee. Schwarzer Tee. Schwarz. Black. Black tea. There's no black about it. Look, I pour milk all over it. I remember the Germans don't put milk in their tea. Only the English are that mad. Germans, we used to use at Oma's house, Kandiszucker, sugar, Kandiszucker. And Kandiszucker is like crystallized sugar on sticks. Or you could get it in little bowls and it's brown and you put it in and then you pour the black tea on and then you watch the sugar melt. That was quite nice too. Schwarzer Tee. Right, and now we'll do our Merry Christmas. We could do it in German as well if you like. Give it a go. We could give it a go. Frohe Weihnachten. If you can say it in German, if you can say it and you know a couple of little rules, then you can usually spell it. As opposed to English, where every rule has an exception. Yeah, it really does. I was laughing the other night. I was thinking about when I used to teach English as a foreign language. And I wish I'd written down the things that people used to say, German people, you know, in the lessons when they used to try and read out English. It was very funny. And you're not supposed to laugh when people make a mistake. But some of them are very, very funny. Maybe we should have one evening, just like nothing to do with craft, just talking about, you know, you tell us your stories, just chatting about funny things that have happened, you know. But instead of writing about them and putting them on Instagram and then waiting for people to click, we should all sit around and talk about it. I think that's more wholesome, don't you? Right. How about Merry Christmas? Let's try Merry Christmas. It's an easy one. There she goes again. She wrote that. What did I say before? She wrote that. Right. Merry Christmas, Barbara. Merry Christmas. Okay. Keep it tight. Merry. It's got to get the size right. Otherwise, it's going to go off the edge of the page. That'll do. I don't mind having a little flourish at the end. I can put another holly sprig at the end if I want. Right, here we go. Right, ready? And I'm going to keep that line in the middle, actually. Right, here we go. Merry. All right, that went well. Right, pause for thought. There we go again. Christmas. Ding dong. Lovely. So it comes down there like that. See, and it's got to flow. It's all about the flow. Merry. Those R's are a bit, actually, they're quite good. Merry. And then there's that R again. Christmas. Nice. Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. I know it's a little bit premature, but you know what? It's going to be here a lot sooner than you think. We started, now, Paul, do us a favour, because when I posted the blog this morning, is it 60 something already? 60 days to Christmas or 66 days? Have a look, because I haven't got it in front of me at the moment. Let me know. But it's, when we started it, which seems like yesterday, it was 100 days to Christmas. And now it's already 60 something days. Yikes. Just nice to write inside your cards with a holly sprig or two. Yeah, exactly. And it's really easy to draw the holly sprigs. 59 days. There you go. I told you. We've just dipped down onto the 50. We started at 100. Now we're nearly halfway there. Yikes. I'm really looking forward to it though. This year. I am. I don't know why. I think most people make up their minds how happy they want to be, you know. I know that's a bit of a sweeping statement, but I can wake up in the morning with a right old hornet's nest. Christmas, that M looks a bit ropey. A right hornet's nest in my head, you understand? And then it's up to me whether I keep going and it gets worse and worse and worse, or I try to put things in place to redirect my thinking, you know. And this SHAC does that for me. It does. It really does. Right, now let's have a look. Shall we try the double one? Let's try the double one. This is a bit trickier. Okay, we're going to go for the double. Okay, so we've done that one. That came out all right. Oh, I tell you what, have a look at this. Right, Golden Gate Bridge. Just do that on the one side. It looks really classy. Look. There you go. Golden Gate Bridge. If I blew that up, I could, if I were mad, if I blew this up, I could draw the Golden Gate Bridge in there. Oh no. Just saying. Right, next one. Now we're going to go double bubble. So we're going to go 2. Right, the best thing to do that, I think, is we'll take a, let me think which way I'm going for this. Right, I'm going to stay away from that one. So I'll use that line to do that bit. I'll use that line along there like that. And then I'll just extend that a little bit and I'll go up there as well. So that's going to be my middle. Okay. And then maybe I'll make let's have a think. What did I do before? I made ½ inch difference. That'll do. So ½ inch. Let's stay away from that one. ½ inch gap between the two. Okay. So I'm going to go use this side now. Okay. ½ inch. So that's going to be the kind of the general area where I'm going to write the word in there, in that block. Do you see? Now, let's just rub this out a little bit. So it's a little bit excessive grey. Just need a hint of it. Right, so I'm going to go one like that and one like that. one like that, and one like that. That'll do for now. Okay. And then let's have a little look at what I've already done. Because I went a little bit taller on that one, didn't I? I've done it again. A little bit taller on that, but you don't want to go too far out, if you see what I mean. Maybe come up a bit more on that one. So instead of going over, go up. You're going to go. Don't want to go further than that either, though, do you? So we'll just use that to make my 5-inch top limit. So I'm using this line here. And I'm just going to use that line across there. So now I've boxed it in now, you see? Okay, that's better. So I'm going to go up to there. And she air drew it. Right, that one and that one, like that, is going to be cool. Right, here we go again. So we're going to let's just get the holly in. Holly's easy. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's that one. It's all about balance, isn't it? But we definitely want a sprig at the top. So this one's going to come 1, 2. Remember, it's the top of the 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Right, that's that one and that one. So they're overlapping nicely. Now we want a little bit of balance, don't we? So I think I'll put a sprig on this one. This is this one here. I'm going to put another sprig there like that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Cool. Maybe a little tiny one here. There. It's looking good. I think I want another one maybe in here, don't you? A little one. See, it really helps. 1, 2, 3. Oh, hello. 4. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Breaking the mold. One there. And then pot. So that one's that one coming down there like that. And that's on there like so. Right. That'll do. We can always add a bit more, can't we? Afterwards. Let's add a couple of berries. Berries and cream. Right. Now, what we're going to write though? What we're going to write here? What are we going to write? I've got Grace there. Grace is beautiful. Can't improve on that. So now I'm going to try something else. How about, I love the word harmony, don't you? So if I came down on there, and then if I did that, then I could bring that through like that. Let's just check if that would work. That would look rather lovely. So the H would come round like that. I've got to do a little bit of finagling, but I'm going to go for harmony. Okay. So I've got more words like that. So I'm going to bring the H round like so, not too far away. I might bring the H in a little bit, make it a bit artier. Bring that round, and then that's going to come up like so. Harmony. Maybe I want to make that a bit smaller. It just looks a bit in your face, doesn't it? I'll get rid of that. Go again. Okay, that's better. How are you getting on? I like the H anyway. The H is great. I'm happy with that. Then we'll turn that into a nice weave in a minute. So we've got that. We're going to bring that round, and then we're going to make this a bit smaller though. I just feel it's a bit too fat. There, that's more like it. Right, now let's go again. Harmony. And then I can put another berry on. But I know what to do. Then on the end there, which I really like, we can go like that again. 1, 2, 3. Berry, berry. Mary berry, berry, berry. Actually, you know, you could do a couple of overlapping ones like that. Right, so I think this needs a bit of work though. It looks a bit ropey. This was better. This is too tall. Right, start again. Go again. It's all right. Nothing's written in stone. It's only a bit of tracing paper. And I'll tell you one thing, all the time you're looking at this and deciding how high your R is on your harmony, you're not thinking about anything else. I think where I'm going wrong is I'm worrying too much about where I'm going to weave this in. So I'll forget about that for the moment and I'll concentrate on the writing. How's that sound? Oh, I'll worry about the rest afterwards. I'll worry about how to. Yeah, that's better. Right, here we go. Ha. See, what I could do is do one of those other R's. So you go, ha. I'm glad I don't have to make a living from sign writing because it would be on the breadline. Right, here we go. So now that one's coming round there like so. And this one's got to have a little bit more of a sweep there. So that one's going to come round like that. There. That's lovely. That's just lovely. There you go. So you've got that one coming round like so. That one would look better if the top of the R was smaller. Do you remember when we did that a lot, didn't we? There we are. When we did, and right now we're getting jiggy. Right. So then if we take that idea, we come down like that. How about we bring that down like so? Yeah. Yep. So now we're writing that bit. This is getting shorter, see? I like it though. So much for all writing all in one line, eh? There you go. Harmony. Be nice when it's done, Gray. Yeah, I like it. Harmony. Okay. And then that can be changed as well. Told you this one would be a challenge. But the thing is, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It can all be changed because all we're doing is working on a bit of tracing paper. So now this looks quite good when you come round like that. I rather like that. And then the R like that. Doesn't that look nice? And you could put a couple of berries on that. You could put a drop shadow on that. And how does it sit next to Grace? Works beautifully next to Grace. See, I made the leaves bigger than I did in the Grace one. I made them smaller. Well, you know what you can do is just go again. Or if you think you want to make it a bit smaller, then you just take your view ruler, make another half an inch, go up, go again, make another half an inch. I'm looking at the top at the moment. There you go. So I've got my box, and then I'll start again. And then this time I'll maybe change the way this comes round. I might bring this round like that. I think it will look better there. So it's got more. I'll bring it in that way. But I'm going to leave that one and just go again. Do you see? And then I'm going to make the Golden Gate Bridge because that reminds me of our Mark. You can see the Golden Gate Bridge pretty much from his apartment. There you go. Nice. So there you go. I think I love it. I think I love it. And I'm going to do a third one when I get a moment. And then next week, we're going to go for hips and haws. Okay, we'll do hips and haws. I might practice beforehand. And then the only other thing is, don't forget to join us at 2 o'clock this afternoon, Paul and myself, I'm going to be the presenter. Paul's doing the demonstrating, so that'll be fun to watch. And then on tomorrow, Louise is going to be keeping you company on Groovy Tuesday. And then in the afternoon, Louise and Paul will be keeping you company. In the meantime, I should be busy prepping for the Wednesday Hobby Maker show. So I'm up in Redditch at Hobby Maker TV Studios, and they've given me a 2-hour slot. Happy days. So I'm on from 2 o'clock until 4 o'clock on Wednesday, which is great because it gives me a chance to really get my teeth into some demos. I like that. Okay. And then on Friday, of course, 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock again. Okay. So, so thank you very much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed that. And Paul, thank you so much for helping too. Sets you up for the week, doesn't it, the SHAC? You know where we're headed. You've got something simple to doodle, piece of paper. I'd love to see what you get up to. And then next week, we're on hips and haws. I know. Imagine that as a headline. That'd make you click. Lots of love. Have a great week. I don't think I've forgotten anything. And if I have, then everything will be fine. Have I forgotten anything, Paul? I don't think so. See you at 2 o'clock. And don't forget, the half price sale is running right through till midnight. So it doesn't only apply to what's on the 2 o'clock show. It applies to everything still. So there you go. If you missed the sale, the autumn sale, then you really ought to. The autumn sale